to hear any of the conversation between news director / sports director Gary Stevens and the mayor, but they've been going on and on and on about the NCAA and blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. Let's talk about Survivor, the TV show.
No.
Okay.
Let's not.
Good morning, Mayor Kurt Dykstra. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Not bad at all.
Good.
So you don't watch Survivor?
Not at all. No, really no reality television shows. There's this wonderful commercial. I forget who has it out there. It's, we'd like to be able to do something about reality shows that take place in bridal studios. I think just reality TV is...
What is the NCAA? Is that not reality TV?
No, that's sports. That's different.
Is it not reality, though?
So anyway, how about that tournament?
How about it?
Yeah.
I saw that one of our Michigan teams played SDSU, and I was like,
yes.
San Diego State University? They
Sort
were
of.
in the...
Sort of, except it's South Dakota State University in Brookings, South Dakota. South Dakota, the populous state, has University of South Dakota in Vermilion, SDSU in Brookings, and the South Dakota School of Mines.
SDSU.
Yes,
nice.
SDSU in Brookings.
Okay.
They're actually a D1 team for not that long, and so nice for them to get into the tournament. They played pretty well. They had a couple kids on the squad, starters from Rock Valley, Iowa. Now, I spent a little bit of time, about 5 years in Northwest Iowa, so know a little bit about SDSU, and there was actually a Dykstra kid from Rock Valley. Don't know him, no relation. But SDSU looked respectable. They didn't win. They didn't come close to winning, but the game I thought was closer for most of it than what the final score showed, which is sort of the opposite of what the state Valpo game was. It was the score I thought was closer than what the game was for most of it. So it gives Coach Izzo something to challenge his team with that they didn't finish all that well.
Now, I realize Gary Stevens is not going to be talking, but Gary, you could just nod. Do you agree that SDSU put up a good fight? Ooh,
oh, my word.
No,
he's giving me the...
Kind of, yeah, the poofed.
Yeah,
yeah.
Seriously? Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the teams that I am familiar with that are still in the tournament. The Kansas State Jayhawks.
No. The Kansas
Jayhawks.
Yeah. So yes, we'll see. They play today, I believe. Today and yesterday are the two greatest sports days of the year. They really are. It's just fun to be able now, especially since they have all the games on at the same time. You switch between 4 networks, and you can watch nonstop basketball. It's outstanding because then you get games like last night's Harvard game. Harvard, New Mexico. Yeah, everybody thought New Mexico had the legitimate shot to go Sweet 16, perhaps even further. And Harvard, a team that up until a few years ago had never won the Ivy League Conference at all, had never before won an NCAA tournament, ends up winning last night and doing so in pretty good fashion, even though some of their best players had some foul trouble. So
hold on. Gary, do you agree that they won in good fashion? I know you're not talking, but...
Well, he was sleeping.
He's shaking his head,
He had to get up early to do this. He probably didn't see the game, but it was really a very entertaining game.
And I knew that it was Kansas and not Kansas State.
You're just testing me.
Testing Gary is what I was trying to do.
Fair enough.
You buy that, Gary, that I was trying to test you? Of course not. He's shaking his head no. But the Jayhawks, I do expect them to go very far. I lived in Manhattan, Kansas back in the 80s when they won a championship then. And I guess if I had to pick a team, that'd be it.
Well, I think we have a local connection, at least with City Hall. Both our former, now retired city manager, Soren Wolf, and our current city manager, Ryan Cotton, both got their Masters of Public Administration degrees from the University of Kansas, which is one of the best MPA programs in the country. So we sort of have this Kansas love that goes on at City Hall.
Right.
Not directly. Now, me, on the other hand, I had to endure the Marquette game yesterday as a Marquette alum, and I actually was driving somewhere and couldn't listen anymore. I turned it off, figuring they had lost, and then I turned it back on, and yes, they won. So
they won.
I was pretty frustrated and a little embarrassed that I didn't actually hear them pull it out in the end.
And Gary, are you excited that Marquette won the game? He's shaking his head. No, no.
For folks listening, at some point you can sort of watch this less than exciting radio segment online on the WHTC website. Gary is our cameraman here, but we were having a little bit of throwdown over the Marquette-Detroit battle and what that meant for the new Big East Conference, which Gary was suggesting was not going to be the Big East, but was a bunch of Catholic schools. And I had to show him and pull up the email I got from Marquette that talked about, as subject goes, announcing the future of the Big East. So yes, so the Big East will still exist. It'll be slightly different. Some different schools. Conference realignment's gone crazy, but But yes, going back to it, my Marquette team did not put on a very good show yesterday. But they won.
Perhaps you and Gary could spend some time in the octagon and try to settle this.
In the octagon.
Reality, you don't watch. So you're not into MMA, mixed martial arts with the octagon? Goodness gracious.
I know.
All right, let's talk about State and Michigan.
Okay. Well, Michigan, Michigan had a nice challenge, I thought, from SDSU. And
oh, wait, we went down that
road. We did. But, Michigan, it was a good test for them. They played well. State played, I heard Coach Izzo say they played an okay opening few minutes. They played a great 32 minutes in the middle and then a poor last 5. So it gives him something to challenge them with. And, I can't remember exactly how far I have each of those two teams going, but for sure, I think they're both in the Sweet 16 in my bracket.
All right. Now let's talk about something that I'm hoping that I can be a little more conversant with. That is the spring cleanup.
It starts in less than 24 hours.
Right. It starts in less than 24 hours.
Tomorrow it kicks off. So when you're done shoveling your driveway, then you can begin to rake the leaves onto the curb. Yes. So this is the annual spring cleanup time for city residents. It's a wonderful program. It's one of those programs that people really, really enjoy, and I can certainly see why. You take the brush, the twigs, the leaves, no tree stumps, please, or major limbs.
Or dead squirrels. Keep those out of the whole pile.
Right, exactly. And then you just rake them to the curb. Eventually, some city crews will come through. We get it all done before tulip time.
One pass
only. Unlike fall leaf pickup, which is multiple passes, but spring cleanup is just one pass.
On the 6th. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, it's not like it's instantaneous. So I think they begin picking up on the 6th.
See, I'm in there, though.
There you go. You're good.
Yeah. Gary's shaking his head no again.
It is a great program, and, certainly take advantage of it if you live in the city. And, so shovel the snow and then rake your leaves.
Shovel and then rake, and then be sure to watch the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
Because Kansas, not Kansas State, is going to take it all.
Right. Well, I don't know. The Dykstra bracket has the championship game between Ohio State and Indiana, with Indiana winning the whole thing.
And the Stevens bracket has... He's still not talking. Okay, well, you'll have to look online for that.
He had. I'm pretty sure Gary had New Mexico.
I thought I saw Gonzaga.
New Mexico.
Yeah, all right. Coffee with the Mayor, brought to you by Cunningham, Dahlman, and Marquette.